of everything that he's done. So, organization marked October the 6th as a day, Founders Day, for us to honor him and what he's done, again, in football and in the community. So for the third consecutive year, tomorrow we will be following up on that and honoring him and his legacy, which would be an exciting time. I know if he was here right now, he would probably be disappointed in where we were at the current time, but excited about where we're going. So again, that'll be a special time for us to honor him. And along with just honoring him, the organization, of course, has wanted to do a little bit more and do something in the community on something that was really passionate, that he was passionate about. He was very involved, of course, in the community. So and tomorrow, on October the 6th, we'll let you know exactly what that will be. Football and what we did today on the practice field. You need to get back to the field. When you have some things to correct, you need to get back out there and go to work. A few things have happened since we talked last. A couple roster changes, and a couple roster changes with guys leaving, a couple roster changes with guys coming back on board. Whenever we have somebody that's available, we start the process of seeing how quick we can get them up to pace to be able to help our team. Don't know exactly when that'll be, but the process has started. We realize who we're playing. We have a long history with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Getting into the division, just so many things at stake. Last game of the first quarter of our football season. We understand what's happened, but to finish off on a high note is important to us. I'll take your question. Yeah, we say it's a bruise, and he's in a brace. What's the rest of it?
Where is he at medically? Do you think he can play Sunday?
We hope he can. Seeing him in a brace, that doesn't, just like we said before, it was a bruise. It was a bruise. And he was in a brace today to just protect it a little bit. He should be good to go.
With Christian Harris back, you mentioned players and trying to figure out where they're at and see where they're at. How did he look today? Do you expect he can be there? Because obviously the defense,
it's pretty hard. It's hard to say that right now. Just keep in mind, he's a rookie that's never played a game for us. That went through a couple training camp practices, so that process has started. But as far as maybe this week, we just started the process, and we had one practice. So it's pretty hard to say much more than he's back out on the practice field. That's the first step. About availability, he's available now, and we've started the process. Same thing. I think they're in different stages. Mario has played in the league for a long period of time, so he's a little bit, of course, he's more advanced with being able to play quicker. But we can always use help with a good pass rusher, good defensive end to play. He's healthy now. Again, the process has started. Hopefully, sooner than later, he'll be out there.
Harris obviously hasn't played in the preseason. You mentioned that earlier this week. Like, he hasn't played for you guys yet. Behind the scenes, what's kind of helped him the most to be prepared, and how quickly do you think?
It's pretty hard to say that. All those training camp practices, 4 weeks of practice, they matter, and you get better each time you practice. So, is he behind? Absolutely. Our game's a little bit harder than to just jump right in and play the entire game. As far as when, you don't know that. We'll see how it goes. We got to at least have, like we've had right now. He came off of the injury list, and we've had one practice. And I haven't even had a chance to evaluate the video. So give us a little bit of time to see exactly where he is. As soon as he's ready to go and we feel like he can function and have an opportunity to have success, he'll be out there. I'm sorry. As far as what now?
The decision.
Once someone is not on our foot, I don't know what good that would do. We went a different direction. Sometimes divorce is a good thing for both parties. I don't know what else there is to say. Pharaoh did a great job for us while he was here, and we both moved on.
Well, I guess not necessarily so much about Pharaoh, but I guess are y'all, hoping that did y'all do that to add to other areas that y'all feel y'all need help, or I guess
No, we're looking at each player individually based on where we are with them, and we thought that, for both of us, it was time to go a different direction. I realize we need tight ends to play. Are we satisfied with what we have here right now? If you're asking that, yes. O.J. Howard, Jordan Akins has done a good job. Brevin is coming back. Teagan is coming back. Of course, Mason, we got some good plays from him. So we have some other guys. And we played the last game without him. He was injured then. So we're not going to ever leave our team just void of talent at a position, and we feel like we can go forward with the guys we have at the tight end position.
Lovie, since last year, what have you seen from Trevor Lawrence and his development? I know he had some fumbles this past game, but overall, early period of the year, what have you seen from him?
I thought he was an excellent quarterback last year. Can make all the throws. As we're talking about Christian Harris, plays matter, experience matters, situations matter of you being in those, and he's had a lot more game experience since we played them last. But mobile, big guy, strong arm, top pick in the draft. If you look at our football team, they have the top, last 2 years, has the top pick in the draft. And both of those guys are difference makers, is from what I see. And every rep you get, every game you play, you're going to get better.
Coach, I believe you talked about it before, and Common mentioned it yesterday in terms of trust, trusting the defense, trusting what they see. But after reviewing the film from this last week and practice today, do you feel like you've cleaned some of those things up? Where do you feel like they are?
Yeah, every time there's a mistake and you go back to practice, you clean things up. Absolutely. Trust, yeah. You got to have that. Everything they're saying is true. Absolutely.
There was a time in OTAs where you pointed to Christian Harrison saying you saw him out with the ones. I know today you're going to review it, but at the time before his injury, where did you kind of see his
God, that was 3 months ago we're talking, Brooks, right now. 4 months. Yeah. I don't know what else to say about it. Christian Harris has been out. He hasn't played a game for it. He's missed all the training camp pretty much, and he's back healthy now, and we started the process. On exactly when a rookie is ready to play, we'll see that. There's nothing else really to say besides that. Remembering back on what he did at Alabama or what he did in OTAs, just doesn't have an awful lot. He's healthy now, in the best shape he can be. Mentally, he knows a lot more of being able to observe, but it's a little bit more than that. I'm excited about him eventually getting out there. That's about all I can tell you right now.
Loving on top of it, do you expect after the bye week to that be a good time to start a window for him?
For
With Tavir Thomas to start his window after you get back from the bye?
Well, he's coming. He's making progress. Every good not every good football. Every player that's on the injured list, as soon as they're cleared medically, we're going to get them back out there. Start the process. Mario, Tavir, they have a history. They can jump back into it a little bit quicker than maybe some of the younger players. But can we use a player like Tavir right now? Absolutely. Can't wait to get him back out there. I know he's making a lot of progress, and eventually he'll be out there.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Questions for Brandon? Brandon, about the series with Jags, you guys have had some success. Does any of that matter?
No. At the end of the day, just like every year, people are getting better, and they're a good team. I don't necessarily think about the past when you see this Jacksonville Jaguar and you turn on the film, they're already showing that they're a completely different team in a good way.
In what ways what are the first things that step out that show you that they're good?
Guys are making plays all over the field from both sides of the ball, but specifically on the defense side, they're playing at a high level, from the front seven to the back end, and they're doing it on a consistent basis week in and week out.
Progress you guys made within the game in terms of passing,
Yeah, no, I think we can definitely build on it, but at the end of the day, I think it's about starting fast is the name of the game. The message to specifically on our side, the offense, being able to start fast like we started in that second half.
Right, and one of the issues it seems like the team has right now is consistency. What are some of the things that you noticed throughout the game, especially on the offensive side of the ball, that can keep that consistency going?
I think really just the penalties, the pre-snap penalties, not biting ourselves in the foot in that aspect, staying ahead of the chains. Anytime you can stay ahead of the chains in this game, you're going to give yourself a better chance to stay on the field. So I think that's the biggest thing that pop off.
Anything else? All set?
Appreciate it.
All right.
Games that you had in the past against Jacksonville, does it give you some confidence just the way you perform against them before?
Yeah, I mean, I think historically, at least through the past, most recent years, the Texans have always handled the Jags efficiently. We've gotten wins in the recent years, and we want to keep it rolling in the same way.
Davis, when you take a look at Trevor Lawrence, is there a part of you that actually go into that game thinking to yourself that, in a way, this is sort of like kind of a measure to see that both of you guys came in at the same time, both of you now second-year starting quarterbacks?
I don't think so. I mean, he's a good quarterback. I think I'm a good quarterback. We're going out there and trying to play within our system and play the best game we can possible, and then, I mean, let the winning team win.
How do you avoid getting into that psychological warfare of what he asked in terms of, okay, Trevor's the #1 pick, I was a 3rd round pick, but I still got to do my job and focus on what I got to do to help and not get caught up in the hoorah in terms of me versus Trevor.
I mean, that's exactly what it is, I think. I mean, just in the week of preparation, we're not focused on what they're running on offense. I'm focused on what they're running on defense. So, I mean, that consumes a lot of my time. I'm not really thinking about all those other factors that I can't control. Obviously, we know that they've been successful on offense this year. They have a good defense as well, so we're just going out and doing our best job to execute our role as an offense and attack their defense.
What are some of the more impressive parts of that defense they have?
I think starting off just their rushers, pass rushers. They got a lot of guys who change around in their defensive front and want to attack the quarterback, and we got to be ready to defend against that. And then their secondary, with the new defense coordinator, they've started a little bit of a different scheme than what they ran last year. So those guys are on the same page. They've obviously created a lot of turnovers, so we got to protect the football and then really just go out and do our jobs and execute at a high level.
I saw that the Jaguars
I feel very comfortable. Obviously, got to continue to improve week in and week out, but I mean, we're happy with where we're at, but we're still hungry for more. We're ready to go out and attack early on in games and not have to feel that feeling at halftime or late in the game when we need to try to get back on track or catch up, but really have that urgent feeling from the start of the game and just go out and make big plays from the start.
And are there other things you work through in a game at this point where you can, I know levels happen, where you can make different changes in a game, different plays? Have you reached that with this? Was that kind of something you can do?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think we did that this past week. Just different times will pop up where the defense, we get a feel of what they're running early in the game and what's working for them. And then we're going to find ways to go out and attack that specific look if they show it again.
Davis, how much the running game of this is actually a way to get the offense going, especially compared to last year when you guys struggled?
I mean, developing the run game and really him just doing his job and running behind those offense linemen is huge, especially on 1st and 2nd down and even 3rd and short. If we can get to a lot of 3rd and manageable and we can increase our conversion rate on those 3rd downs and keep drives alive, I mean, I think the run game is very effective in that regard. So if we keep running the ball better, it opens everything up on offense.
Davis, then you talked about the growth that you've seen from Damian, visibility, what he can do away from the football, what's picked up, pass protection, things like that.
He's been great. Just every day of prep we have, he's getting so many different looks of blitz pickup and stuff when he's not running the ball, because we know he can run the ball, but the next step for him is continuing in the passing game in protections and then getting out in routes. And he's been doing a really good job of that. So I think you saw the post we threw to Jordan Akins in the game. He actually came and stepped in, kind of aborted the play fake and stepped in and filled the A-gap of a really fast add-on linebacker that they had, and we ended up making a big play. And I mean, a lot of the reason we were able to make that play is because he stepped up and made a big-time block. So if he keeps developing and improving in the passing game, it's going to be huge for us.
Maybe Lovie is calling Trevor Walker a playmaker. What do you see when you watch him? Have you ever looked at him and studied a lot of him so far?
Yes and no. I mean, I'm not looking at a lot of the pass rushers. Obviously, I need to know who my threats are, but most of my stuff is focused on coverage. But, I mean, you've seen what he's done. I know he has a couple sacks and TFLs already, and I think an interception in one of the first games. So got to acknowledge where he's at on the field so we can handle their different looks. But, I mean, he's a good player, so we just got to know where he's at.
Davis, the Jaguars, I think you probably the third most blitz quarterback in the league, and the Jaguars blitz about 30% at the time. How much do you have to pay attention to that? How does that change things up for you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we got to communicate it well and protection standpoint and all of our passing schemes. We got to be able to mix up run and pass so we can keep them guessing and tire them out before we take some big-time shots. Then just mix in different looks on offense so we keep them guessing. No much more than that.
Mentally, how do you approach? Obviously, you feel like you're a good quarterback. And you're still a young player, so you're trying to prove yourself. So how do you approach mentally that strain of having to, solidify that you are who you believe you are?
Yeah, just go out and play my game every week. I mean, and it comes down to just going out there and being efficient, doing my job on offense, and spreading the ball around to the playmakers. So I don't need to go out and make every single play or just go out and do too much is what I'm trying to say. But if I'm efficient with the ball, getting the ball out of my hands on time before the pass rushers get there and giving my receivers catchable balls, then, I mean, everything else should work itself out.
How do you feel you've grown in recognizing coverages pre and post snap? Because obviously defense always want to show something different after the snap. So how have you grown in deciphering quickly what they're doing after the ball snap?
A lot of it comes from game film and film study. You got to kind of know their disguise percentage, where they're trying to start to get to what coverage, and then quickly recognizing it post snap. And I mean, I think in the current state of football, a lot of the designer coverages that defense is doing, it's tough to do that. So what we have on offense is a lot of pure progression passing game and just stuff like that, where we can make it easy for the quarterback, where we're not too much trying to figure out a full-blown coverage, but we're trying to just find space in the defense. Obviously, still see middle field open, middle field closed with the safeties to start, but a lot of it is kind of with what the defense and how complicated they're trying to show, simplifying it for ourselves on offense.
Last one. All right.
Good.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
We'll open up the locker room at 11:45.